What's up guys, this is the demo for week 1's discussion on Git, and in this video we're just going to go over two topics, which are working with an existing repo and then creating your own. So first off, we're going to go over the commands that the slides covered, which are working with an existing repo. And you can see here I already have one made on GitHub, and I have the URL available to clone it. So I'm going to copy this URL and then navigate to the folder where I want the repo to be located. And I can just git bash here. I'm using Git for Windows. You can use whatever Git client you want. And I just type in git clone and I paste the URL, and it should clone the repo into this location. And you can see that I just have a file in here called this is a file. And if you navigate into the repo and type in git branch with the flag all, you can see the different branches that are available. And if you want to switch branches, you just type in git checkout and then the name of the branch, which is my branch. And you can see it switches branches, and on that branch I just have a different text file, and you can also see that on GitHub, the different text file. So if I want to make any changes, first I want to type in git pull, and that's just because in case someone else has pushed to the remote repo, you don't want any conflicting changes, and if there are, it'll ask you to resolve those conflicts before you make a final push. So let's say I make some changes to this text file, add an exclamation point, and I want to add the file. You can also just type in git add with the period and it'll add all files that were changed. If I type in git status, I can see that the changes that are made is just modifying that one file. So then I can just commit it with git commit -m and type in the message I want, edited other file.txt. And then to push, I just type in git push origin and the name of the branch, which is my branch. And you should see that it pushed onto GitHub, and you can see the changes that I made. So now we're going to go over creating your own repo to work with, and the first step in that process is to create the repository in GitHub. So I'm going to navigate to my home page, repositories, click new. I'll call this CN3031 demo part 2. Hit create repository, and now I have the URL available to me. So I'm going to navigate to where I want the local repo to be located, and I'll just create a new folder for it, call it my repo. And then I'm going to bash into here and type in git init to initialize a Git repository in this location. And I can connect it to the remote repo using the command git remote add. And you can type in any name you want here. Origin is just naming convention. So git remote add origin in the URL. And then you can see that it was added as origin. Now, if I want to make any changes, I can just, for example, add a text file, and then I can add it, and then give it a commit message, and then push it onto the master branch of the origin URL. And you can see that it pushed onto here. So an alternative to the command line Git operations are GitHub desktop clients, and the one I use personally is GitHub Desktop. I recommend it personally, but others include Git Kraken, Git GUI. So this just makes all those Git operations much easier and cleaner to look at. So for example, if I wanted to clone an existing repo, I can just pick it off of here. I can just pick the one that I made earlier and choose where to clone it into. I want to clone it here. And the repo's cloned. So I can see the different commits that were made. I can also switch branches, and it just makes all the operations easier and cleaner to look at. So it's an option if you guys want.